it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. How about that one? A 31-14 win for Boise State. My name is BJ Rains. This is the Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com, Lithia Florida Boise postgame show. We appreciate you for checking us out here in the press box here at University Stadium. Thanks to Lithia Florida Boise. Hope you'll get out there and check out the great deals they have for their fall kickoff sale. You can get their deal right now where they'll buy your used car. They'll make you a cash offer on the spot. So check out Lithia, Florida, Boise, and, of course, Idaho Central Credit Union as well, powering our road trip coverage. So check them out, iccu.com. We appreciate both Lithia, Florida, and Idaho Central Credit Union for making this show possible. Get your comments in. Get your questions in. We're going to have a lot of fun on this show. The first victory postgame show for Boise State since Bronco Nation News started back in December for a football game here. So 31-14 the final. I've got the Diet Pepsi in the press box. Hopefully you guys are enjoying something a little bit stronger. But we got Colin Mitchell here putting in our post-game interviews from Andy Avalos, Latrell Caples, as well as Zeke Noah. So we'll hear from those three here in a little bit. We've got highlights to play as well. Colin Mitchell was down on the field shooting some highlights. So a lot to get to tonight on the post-game show. And most importantly, we want to hear from you guys. So we got a lot of comments already on the YouTube channel. Go ahead and get those in, and we will get to those here throughout the show. 1-0, that's all that matters, according to Joe, and no doubt about it. Wasn't the prettiest game by any means, but you did have Hank Bachmeier get things going a little bit. 3 touchdowns for Hank Bachmeier. Can you, let's see here where the final stats are. Apologize for that. Got the final book here of stats, and we'll get to those as we move along here in the show. But Hank Bachmeier did have 3 touchdown passes. He wasn't perfect by any means, 16 of 27, 170 yards. Did have an interception late, but 3 touchdowns. I thought he had much better command of the offense in this game. It wasn't perfect. But I think Hank Bachmeier took a step forward here for Boise State. No doubt about it in this one. And I think Joe's comment, 1-0, all that matters. I think that was the case. I mean, you look at a lot of the things in the last game that Boise State did not do well. They did them much better in this game. You had George Tarlas getting the sack on the first play of the game. The defense, well, they didn't get any pressure on the quarterback in the last game. They had 6 sacks tonight, 12 tackles for loss, I believe, at one point. And, the running game, the offensive line both got going again a little bit. Still not great. In the rushing game, they finished with 148 yards rushing. Ashton Genty netted 72. You had 67 for George Halani. Billy Bowens had 12 on an end around. So, you saw some nice things. They have 2 guys rush over 65 yards. I guess you'll certainly take that. But certainly, you'd like to see a little more in the rushing game overall. But overall, again, I thought Hank Bachmeier did some nice things. It wasn't perfect. And I know there's some people out there watching right now that would rather see, Taylon Green have played and would like to see Taylon Green play moving forward. But you know what? It is what it is. And Hank Bachmeier, I think, still gives his team the best chance to win moving forward. It was a nice step forward for him. And now you get to come home and play a UT Martin team that, you really should crush. So, Double O'Neill says, I'll take any win. Definitely not impressed. Still very worried. Fire the offensive coordinator. I did think the play calling was better in the second half. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I thought in the second half, certainly you had, a situation where there was some end arounds. There was a couple play actions and some swing passes to George Halani for a touchdown, a couple of those shovel passes across the middle. So I thought that the play calling was better in the second half. I still thought early in the game they talked all about wanting to get the offense in a good rhythm, and I didn't really see that. I thought that there were some pretty basic play calls, a lot of runs up the middle in the first quarter at least, but they started to get things going, and they got it going well. Double O'Neill says gave up another end zone, touchdown, red zone, whatever for an INT, let them back in with a kickoff. Yeah, I mean, it was, 31-14 doesn't look great. And depending on if you had 17 or 16 and a half or 17 and a half for the point spread, that certainly mattered in this one. But it was really 31-7. You had the 100-yard kickoff return. You gave up the big 69-yard play, too. I mean, for the most part, Boise State's defense just absolutely dominated this game. I think they had 54 yards in the first half. New Mexico did on offense, and then they just continued to not do much in the second half either. Total offensive yards for the game, 123. New Mexico finishes with 123 yards, and they had 69 on one play, I believe. So I mean, you're talking about literally like 50 yards of offense for the entire game, except for one play. I mean, that is pretty incredible. 2.2 yards per play is all New Mexico could muster in this one. And again, Boise State had 12 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. That certainly helped with that. Boise State converted on 4th down one, so they brought in the jumbo package. Scott Matlock, Herbert Gums. That was a nice play. There was a 4th down stop that Scott Matlock had. There was a lot going on. So we have some highlights. Colin Mitchell has those. We'll show those here in just a minute. Andy Avalos, I see the video's been loaded in and is ready to go as well. So we got a lot to get to. Highlights, post-game interviews, all kinds of stuff here, and most importantly, your comments and your questions here on the Lithia Florida Boise post-game show. We'll do that as soon as we thank a couple of our sponsors, and we'll start with our friends out at TCS, Transportation Compliance Service. Make sure you check them out, transcomservice.com. If you're looking to get into a new career change, how about the trucking industry? Become a truck driver. You can do the big rig on the screen, Amazon truck, you name it. Transportation Compliance Service can get you all the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. The Blue and Orange Store, got the home opener coming up on Saturday. Make sure you get out to the Blue and Orange Store and check them out and get your gear for the home opener on Saturday. And again, free shipping on any order over $40 if you book online at theblueandorangestore.com. So make sure you check them out at theblueandorangestore.com. We're going to see some highlights here. Let's get to some more of your comments first. We'll go back up to the top here to make sure that I don't miss any. Appreciate all the comments that are coming in on the YouTube page. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and as the kids say, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and we appreciate you for checking us out here on the post-game show. We'll go back to the comments here, and I got to go scroll back up, so I apologize for that. They're coming in fast and furious here. So we got Scott Johnson saying we'll lose most of our games if Plow is running the offense. Has he been the best offensive coordinator Boise State's ever had? No. But is it all his fault? No. There's a lot more that goes into it in terms of the offensive line struggling, the running game, but certainly the play calling, I think, hasn't been the best play calling they've ever had here. I know that it's easy to blame the offensive coordinator, but I'm not 100% sold either way in terms of Tim Plow as being a great offensive play caller or a guy that should be fired. I think that's saying a little too much at this point. You won the game. Get better and move on. Jordan says, talk to us about the receiving core. Is the passing game all on Hank? Are we needing some gains from the receivers as well? It's a little bit of both. I mean, there were a couple catchable balls that Hank threw tonight that they didn't come down with. Billy Bowens had one. There was one that Davis Cutter went up to try to get. It was thrown a little high, but I think they could have caught that. But overall, I think it's a combination of Hank trying to, get his confidence back. You look at the receiving here. You had 16 catches. You had 4 for Helani, 4 for Smith, 3 for Bowens, 2 for Genty, 2 for Caples, and 1 for Cole Wright. How about Cole Wright, that 47-yard catch? That was a great catch, 47 yards there for Cole Wright. So, it's a combination of things, Jordan. Certainly they're missing that Shaq guy and then needing guys like Cobbs to step up. But, hey, Latrell Caples, 2 touchdowns tonight on 2 catches. You'll take that, they'll take that ratio anytime. Chris saying the defense was amazing. Offense was ugly, more Genty, more short passing game. Defense, again, holding New Mexico to 123 yards. Just incredible. Play calling, have you noticed how the veteran players look lost? No, I haven't really noted that. Undefeated this season on game days when my wife flies Boise State car flags on her car. Well, I guess Boise State fans know what you need to be getting your wife to do then, Jordan, the rest of the season here. Nick Wade says, looks like Capel stepping up in the slot. Bowens is a versatile target for Hank as well. Yeah, Billy Bowens at one point had 9 targets. What did he finish with? Let's see if they show that on here. Receiving, Yeah, 10 targets for Billy Bowens tonight. 10 targets, and he only had 3 catches. So I guess you can look at that one of 2 ways. But he had double the targets of any other player, only came down with 3 catches. And actually, Latrell Caples actually had another really nice catch over the middle that didn't count because they called a holding penalty on Cade Beresford, which pushed them back out of field goal or into field goal range at that point. Cole Parker, nice to see the defense get a sack on the first play of the game. That was huge. All the talk about George Tarlas not having any tackles last week, and then he has a on the first play of the game, George Tarlas has a sack. And so the defense, again, 6 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. Thought they played really, really good. Special teams looked a ton better today, making kicks. Punts looked good. The blocked punt for a touchdown was great. Looks promising moving forward. Yeah, Logan, totally agree with you on that. The punting was much better in the game today. James Ferguson Reynolds, 9 punts. So he got plenty of work. 45.7 was the average. I think his average was like 37 yards last week. So he improved a lot. I think James Ferguson Reynolds looked much more comfortable and relaxed tonight. Had a 56-yard long as well, and had 3 inside the 20. So I thought James Ferguson Reynolds did a really nice job. Jonah Dalmas made his only field goal attempt from 48 yards, so that was also big. And then, as you said, how about Andrew Simpson getting the blocked kick through the middle there, and then Devin Wright, the JUCO transfer, falls on it in the end zone for the touchdown. That was a big play for Boise State, but he also gave up a 100-yard kick return as well, so it wasn't perfect in the special teams category. Zeke Noah, we're going to hear from Zeke Noah in a little bit. We have an interview that we did with him out in the parking lot after the game. He did play a lot better. Let's see if the defensive stats are on here somewhere. He had a huge, I know at least 1 tackle for loss earlier in the game. These say full tackles. I don't know if this is correct. It says 4 tackles for Zeke Noah. I guess that's right, but it seemed like he had more than that. 1.5 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss, and he had a pass breakup and a quarterback hit as well. So Zeke Noah did play very well today. Totally agree with you. Nate says, still sad showing by Hank in the O-line, the run game. If New Mexico State is as bad as they are, they should have been blown out, and still Hank struggled. I don't know how they do against New Mexico State because they played New Mexico, Nate, so don't know the answer to that one. But, yeah, it wasn't perfect, like I said, but it was better than last week. So, I mean, you have to go up somewhere, and it was a step in the right direction. Let's check out the highlights from this game, and then we can kind of talk through some of these highlights, play some more of your comments. Colin Mitchell with most of these, and then some credits to CBS Sport and a few of them as well. But this was early in the game. Boise State defense making some plays, obviously. Zeke Noah with a big tackle for loss there. I thought that was a big play, obviously, in the game. Here's Boise State. This is the big play to Cole Wright. First career catch for Cole Wright, and it goes for 47 yards down the middle, and that helps set up Boise State. They're in business there, and then this was the first touchdown. 5 wide, Keeples waits a second. That's a great angle there. You saw him wait, and then you saw him make the catch there. And I thought that was a heck of a throw, heck of a play by Latrell Caples. Nice design play. Boise State takes the lead there. The defense added again. Miles Kendrick, the Kansas transfer. Not much going there. Isaiah Banya, the nice tackle on the sideline there. Here's the running game trying to get going. That was a big 4th down play. Scott Matlock with a huge play on a 4th down to stop the possession there and give the ball back to Boise State. Bachmeier now looking deep. This was the Billy Bowens, I believe. Nice catch there on the run. Nicely thrown ball. Boise State in business again. But they got pushed back out of field goal range. It went to the back out of touchdown range. Had to go for the field goal. And the 48-yarder there from Jonah Dalmas made it 10-0. Boise State's defense, again, this looked like a big play for New Mexico, but Tyreek LaBeouf comes out of nowhere. A great play there by Tyreek LaBeouf as well. Again, thanks to Colin Mitchell for getting all these highlights. Another tackle for loss, a sack. And then it was more of the same, and we could replay a lot of the same clips. Boise State's defense in the backfield all game long. There's Caleb Biggers. He did not have he got benched and then didn't come back in after he had the taunting penalty, which wasn't a very smart play. There's Scott Matlock, another tackle in the backfield. So Boise State's defense continuing to play well. Here's the blocked punt. Look at Andrew Simpson come up there with the big block right in the middle, and the ball had this weird spin on it, and it stayed in bounds. And good for Devin Wright, the JUCO transfer in his 2nd game at the Division I level at Boise State. Pounces on it, and it's a touchdown for Boise State. Again, Andrew Simpson with the block, and then Devin Wright falls on it for the touchdown. Boise State's defense added again. That was a great play, one-handed by Isaiah Banya. He had the guy on him with one hand, just kind of clotheslines him and knocks him to the ground. How about Ashton Genty tonight? really impressive plays, a couple of back-to-back nice runs for Ashton Genty. Here's another one on the very next play, running up the middle. Nice spin move there to get some extra yards. Very impressed with Ashton Genty. And again, he had 72 rushing yards on 12 carries, led the team in rushing. Also added a couple of receptions through the air. There he goes again. There was 15 yards added onto that for a penalty. But Ashton Genty, 27 receiving yards, 72 rushing yards. 99 total yards for Ashton Genty. Here's George Helani scoring the touchdown there. Nice easy throw from Hank Bachmeyer. And George Helani gets into the end zone. He scores the touchdown. That puts Boise State up. And that does it for the highlights. Appreciate Colin Mitchell for getting those highlights and putting that together and helping out off screen here, as he's doing a tremendous job as always. We got some comments coming in during the highlights there. We'll continue to get to those comments. We're going to hear from Andy Avalo shortly as well. We got Zeke Noah. We got Latrell Caples. We'll probably start with Zeke Noah and talk about the defense. I thought that they again stepped up, as we said. Hello from Greece. Appreciate you folks for watching again. He says special teams looked okay until they let the kick return back. Yeah, and I think 31-7 does feel differently than 31-14. I mean, I know you won the game. You don't really care, I guess, but it just seems like that extra touchdown made it a lot closer. Scott says, let's be honest, the game was painful to watch. This is not Bronco football. Sadly, I think those days are in the distant past. I don't know. We'll see about that. Tarlis was great. This was against New Mexico. Let's not lose sight of that. Yeah, I get it. Through 2 games, the snapping issues appear to be resolved. Yes, I do think that Kekani Akoa Holomia Gonzalez played a much better game tonight. He certainly struggled in that game the last week, and admittedly so. Everybody said that he did, but I didn't see a lot of pressure up the middle in this game. I thought he was much better, and again, no snapping issues as well. I know their offensive line isn't great, but my lord, our defense line was firing on all cylinders, even when they tried to get their option game going. The D-line stayed disciplined. No doubt about it. Nathaniel saying defense gets an A-, offense C+, special teams C+. I might go B- for the special teams. You did give up a touchdown, but you also scored one, and then you made your field goal. So Chris says play calling much better in the second half. Let's get that started earlier. Agree with you on that. Jen saying Hank did do better. Defense was amazing. Impressed with the new players. Haters will hate no matter what. Can't wait to see them back on the blue. Stetson, good to see you last week, buddy. Says much better game for Hank. Do you think the running game developed late? Really want to see Helani have a big game next week. Derek chiming in. The D-line looks great. Genty looks really fast in open space. Great to see those two elements that were non-existent last week versus the Beavers. By the way, we are broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktail Studios, and if any of you are watching this post-game show while drinking a Cutwater Canned Cocktail, please send me a screenshot or send me a tweet on Twitter. And I will send you a prize, maybe some free Cutwater. We'll see. So if you're drinking a Cutwater while watching the post-game show, which we encourage everyone to do, let me know. Send me a picture on Twitter at BJ Rains, RAINS, or to the BNN Bronco Nation Twitter account, and we'll get you a prize. So show us watching the post-game show here with our Cutwater. And if you're not getting one, get one next week. What are you waiting for? Cutwater Canned Cocktails. Awesome pre-made mixed cocktails, and they're very affordable and cheap at your local grocery store or gas station. So pick up a Cutwater canned cocktail today. And again, if you are watching the show and you're having one right now, let me see it, and we will give you a special prize. Let's hear from Zeke Noah in just a second, but first, do want to thank a couple of our great sponsors. RowPaint.com, the title sponsor. Make sure you check them out. Power and People, Pride and Painting. Good to see Andy Rowe before the game. Your concrete coating, your interior, exterior painting, all your painting needs. Make sure you check out RowPaint.com. Ridley's Family Markets. Shop Ridley's.com. 13 Idaho locations around the state of Idaho. They got that CUNA location that I frequent often, the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. So check out our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. Boise Dentistry Co. as well. Full family dentistry locations across the Treasure Valley. If you're looking for a new dentist and one that makes it fun to go for your kids, your grandparents, whoever, you check out Boise Dentistry Co. 906-1255. You get more information online, boisedentistryco.com. United Commercial Insurance, they can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. So wherever you're watching from, they can probably help you out. So if you own a business or you handle the insurance for the business, check them out. A quick call could save save you hundreds of dollars. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And again, support all of our sponsors, folks. They make it possible here for Bronco Nation News to be on the road and be at these games. So next time you're looking to support a sponsor, we would really, really appreciate that moving forward. Let's hear from Zeke Noah. You can keep the comments coming in. We'll get to those, but here's Boise State's Zeke Noah, the linebacker, talking about a dominant defensive effort tonight for the Broncos in the 31-14 win over New Mexico.
Defensive performance feel from start to finish.
Yeah, it was great. We prepared really well this week, and for the defense, there were a couple missed assignments we had, which is not okay, but as far as the defense, I feel like we played solid, so it was great.
Zeke, you've always been a pretty consistent guy when you've been on the field, but you got this playmaking dimension to your game this year where sack and a half, forced fumble last week. Is that something you wanted to bring to this defense?
Yeah, we have our own goals we have every week, and some of that can be mine, and for me, a lot of it is the game slows down for me when I prepare the right way throughout the week, and that's been happening. So.
You guys had 6 sacks today. I mean, how much easier does it make everything else on defense when you're getting that kind of pressure on the quarterback?
Right, it's great, man. We always talk about the front end, the back end, working together. It's a team sport, and pressure confuse the quarterback is one of our standards we have on defense, and we were able to do that today. So.
This is an offense that can easily rack up some rushing yards. What did you guys do to shut it down?
A lot of it was eye control. We know the offense that they had, it can be a little bit difficult as far as the triple option. This whole week we talked about doing our job, doing our 111, and a lot of it was keys, and we were able to do that. So,
George Tarlis was a little quiet last week. We've heard he's been very productive in practice. Tonight he was very productive.
Right.
Is that what you guys have been seeing out of him?
Yeah, George is great, man. He's a guy who really wants to do well for the team. He's a team player, and it showed a little bit today. So.
Defensively, just to have as many three and outs as you did in the first half, really shut them down. I mean, to set the tone early to help, strong. How big was it for you guys to come out strong defensively?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, starting fast, and we were able to do that today. So now the focus is just being consistent throughout the whole game. I know it can be overwhelming a little bit as far as the defensive side, but when it comes down, we're on that field. Like I said, we got to read our keys and react to what we see, and play hard and play fast, and we were able to do that today. So.
How much better you guys just trust your instincts and your reads this week?
Right. It was a lot better for us. I feel like we prepared really well throughout the week, the whole defense. We honed in on a little bit of the more details we have and really being detailed in our keys that we have and reacting to what we see and playing hard and playing fast. So.
Just in general, obviously a tough game last week. To rebound like this on a short week on the road and getting back in the win column, how's it feel?
Yeah. We had, like you said, we had a short week. So a lot of the guys, I feel like we responded well. We had to get right back to practice, getting ready for the short weekend. I feel like we responded well as far as, having practice throughout the weekend, showing it in the game today. So.
No JL, Alexander Tubner has massive shoes to fill, and it doesn't really seem like you guys even skip a beat. JL's, he's the best, but Alex does a pretty good job filling it, it seems like. Yeah,
Alex is great, man. He knows that the standard is the standard. And he can hold the standard as well when he gets out there, and the energy he brings as well, it's great for the whole defense. So.
I say he plays a little bit of a spirit.
Oh yeah, just the passion he has for the game, man. He loves it, and he knows that he needs to show it and spread it throughout the whole defense when he makes a play. So.
Yeah. You guys excited to get home and play on the blue?
Definitely, man. Just these last 2 weeks, we're obviously away, and just getting back in front of our home crowd, man. Just excited for that. So.
Yeah, how about Herb Gums and Scott going in on that 4th and 1? Obviously, Herb might be a little new wrinkle to that this year.
Yeah.
I know it's offense, but that fire you guys up when a couple of those D guys go over there and
yeah,
help
man,
out?
it's fun. It's fun, man. For them to be able to help however they can, especially, if it's on offense, then so be it, And when it comes down to that short-yardage stuff, like, they're in there, and, it's great to see them out there.
Given some of the experience in front of, the linebacker position, it's going to be tough for Andrew Simpson to see significant playing time. For him to make an impact on special teams, how cool is that to see?
Man, it's great to see. Obviously, with us linebackers, we want to make all the plays, man, on the field. Special teams are on defense. And for him to be able to do what he did on special teams, it was great to see, man. So.
To see your quarterback, Hank, respond the way he did, throw 3 touchdown passes tonight, you've obviously played with him for a while here. How nice was it to see that?
It's great, man. Hank's a great guy. He's a great teammate, and we know that Hank will get the work done. We all make mistakes, and Hank was the first one up to, hone and really own up to his mistakes, and it showed today in the game and the preparation he had throughout the week. So
Hank is kind of like that fun, gregarious guy.
Yeah.
Did you guys recognize that it might be your opportunity to kind of like repay that favor of whenever he's been that for you this week, because he's been a little down?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is, man, we have the brotherhood we have on this team, on defense and offense and special teams all together. The brotherhood we have, man, we were all behind him. You know, obviously he's our teammate, man. He's our brother. So any way we can pick him up to, you know, for all of us to play together, and he really responded well to it. So.
Well, there he is, Zeke Noah, meeting with the media today, and we did have we're going to put it on the screen here. We did have already at least one person send us a picture of them having the Cutwater canned cocktail, so we appreciate them for doing that. And if you are having a Cutwater canned cocktail and you're watching the postgame show, send us a message, show us the postgame show, show us your Cutwater canned cocktail, and we will give you a prize. We appreciate Cutwater canned cocktails for helping us out here. And again, thanks to Zeke Noah for meeting with the media after the game. We got some more comments in here. Keep those comments going. PJ flexing on us now that he can say KHG's full name. Kekani Akoa Hololamia Gonzalez. Say that 5 times fast. Kekani Akoa Hololamia Gonzalez. I can also spell it if you like me to, but that might take me a couple extra seconds. But Logan says almost looked like he was trying to pull the kicker back to be able to catch up to him on the return. Not sure. Yeah, that was a little weird. Nick Double Neil says to Nick that they didn't watch the same game. Let's not speculate about JL. We don't know what's happening. He's a great young man. I will say this: JL Skinner did miss the game. He had 3 guys: Ben Dooley, Mason Randolph, and JL Skinner all did miss the game. The only thing that Andy Avalos did say post game is that they expect to have JL Skinner back next week. So, whatever he didn't play, nobody said, but sounds like JL Skinner will be back next week, which is obviously a good sign to see him back. So don't know if it was an injury related or disciplinary or what. Again, we don't know, but he'll be back next week. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Cobbs has 39 yards in 2 games as wide receiver 1. That's tough. He hasn't really done a whole lot yet. Had a couple weird punt returns too, where he didn't catch the ball, and twice the ball bounced backwards and cost Boise State an extra like 10 or 15 yards in field position. So Cobbs needs to step up and catch some of those so they don't roll backwards and then cost them. Tuss got his Cole Wright reference in pregame. Yeah, if you joined us on Bronco Nation News Live this morning with Jay Tuss and myself, from here in Albuquerque, Jay Tuss picked Cole Wright as his player to watch and said he was going to have a catch tonight. And sure enough, he did. Seems that the wide receivers aren't getting much separation. Yeah, they're not. There's also not a lot of intermediate passing game. Maybe it was just me, but it felt like Hank Bachmeier was either chucking it deep or kind of throwing a lot of short routes tonight. There wasn't much like 15, 20 yards down the field. It was either 5 or 30. And so I think that's something they obviously need to work on. I'm sure New Mexico's defense had something to do with that. So, we'll see at that point. Here's the photo. Oh, I was going to have you put the one on there with the name too. But that's okay. There's the Cutwater canned cocktail, the pina colada version from our friend Rams Super Bowl Champs is the Twitter handle that sent us the message. So appreciate you. And we've got a prize coming for you, sir. Appreciate you for doing that. Next time, tweet it out for everybody to see so we can retweet you and not send it as a private message there. But still appreciate that. Colin Smith says we're in trouble against BYU. A lot of season left before that. Connor says, who's a Beavers fan, are the Beavs better than we thought, or the Broncos worse? Thought before the season the Beavs were 3-5 in the Pac-12 range, Boise 1-3. Boise State's in first place in the Mountain West right now, so we'll see. Chris says KHG looked much better. Yeah, he did. The offensive line as a whole looked better. But you had Will Farah playing at right guard. A couple dumb penalties tonight. You had a couple holding calls. And then, as I said, Caleb Biggers got a penalty for standing on top of the guy after the game, and that cost Boise State big time. They would have had to punt there, and that ended up giving them a first down for New Mexico when Caleb Biggers kind of waved his finger. I don't think he waved his finger on that one. He just stood on top of the guy, and you could kind of see that coming after he made the tackle. But there was a couple finger wags, Dikembe Mutombo style tonight for Caleb Biggers. That guy loves to wave the finger, and he's played pretty well this year, but the penalty was probably not his smartest move, and I don't believe he went back in the game after the penalty. I don't believe that Caleb Biggers went back in the game after the penalty, where I got folks calling for Vidlak, wanting to see him go in the game. Defense, I don't think we're ready for the Sam Vidlak era just yet. Chris V, defense will always win games. Boise has a great defense. Pray the offense will figure it out. Yeah, I mean, you had to be encouraged. Now, again, I know this New Mexico offense is probably not the greatest offense Boise State will see all year, but again, baby steps, right? I mean, everyone wants to, still be nitpicky and critical, and that's fine, but it looked a whole lot better tonight than it looked last week, right? I mean, last week we were at this time talking about a loss. I mean, you won the game, okay? You made some steps forward. So if you're Boise State, I think you got to be pretty excited about that, at least the encouragement. You got better, and now you try to do the same thing. Get another step better next week. Then the next week get better, and just kind of keep going and see what happens. But you won the game. This guy might have been having too much of the Cutwater can cocktails here. Hank has ruined 4 years of Boise State football. Can't go 7-5 with Hank at QB. Can't wait to go 7-5 again. I'm still pretty bullish on Hank. I know a lot of people aren't, but what I saw tonight, I was encouraged by. I think he's going to continue to get better. It's not all on Hank. I mean, he didn't have a ton of terrible throws today. Did not like the pass that was double coverage, trying to go to Billy Bowens there that got picked off near the goal line. But overall, I don't think he, played terrible tonight, and I think you build off that and you move on. Banana and Locke says, do you think Hank played better? 170 yards against the worst team in the Mountain West. I'd be surprised if he made it through the year as the starter. He had 6 drives in the last game. 3 were 3-and-outs and 3 were turnovers. So I do think he played better. He passed for more yards and he had 3 touchdowns, and Boise State won the game. So he may not have played great, but he played better. And again, that is a start. Is Helani going to start returning punts? Yeah, Carson, I don't know what's going on there. He's listed as a starting punt returner, and we heard all this stuff about how he was going to return punts this year, and I think he's been out there for 1 punt all year, maybe if that. So, I don't know why he's not back there on the punt returns, and we'll see maybe what the plan is for that. But I don't think Steph Cobbs has done anything special on the punt returns yet. And like I said, 2 times, I thought he should have caught it. He didn't, and it bounced, and they cost him like 10, 15 yards in field position. So, Big Wade says BYU, Air Force, San Diego, and Fresno. If they go 2-2 through those 4, they can still end up at 9-3. Those would look like the 4 games that might give Boise State some trouble the rest of the season. But overall, you feel pretty good about the rest of the games. So he says go 2-2 there and can still up 9-3. And so there was a swagger and discipline that all the great Bronco teams played with in the past. Haven't seen that for years. I'm not sure who or what can bring that culture back to Bronco football. I think benching Caleb Biggers there is kind of get back to that culture. You can have swagger, you can play like that, but you can't cost your team a 15-yard penalty and basically a possession, because they would have had to punt the ball there. Instead, they got to keep the ball and get a first down after Caleb Biggers was benched for that play there. And I don't think he went back in the game. I don't know if that had anything to do with the score or if that was only because of the way that it worked out or not. I don't know the answer to that, but for what it was worth, they didn't put him back in, and so that was obviously a play that ended up proving large, because as I said, Jalen Clark later in the game got beat on a touchdown pass, which would have been Biggers in the game for that 69-yard touchdown pass. So stuff happens, but certainly it was a play that if you're Boise State, you'd like to just you made the tackle, or the pass was incomplete. You made the tackle, whatever it was. I forget what happened on the play. You don't need to stand over the guy. Just walk off the field and move on. Let's hear from Andy Avalos in a second. But first, thanks to Matt Boucher. Boucher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt Boucher. Make sure you check out Boucher Real Estate. Timberstone Golf Course as well. Was texting with Kelly Christensen last night. PlayTimberstone.com. You can book your tee time. So make sure you get out there and do that, and book your tee time at playtimberstone.com is the spot that you can go, and the greens and everything's in great shape out there, so check out Timberstone. Let's hear from Andy Avalos, but first, a quick word from Lithia Ford and their sponsor, Riley Smith.
Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Nah, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
tight end.
Squats. Yeah, try it sometime.
And again, thanks to Lithia Ford for sponsoring our pregame and postgame shows here as one of our major sponsors of Bronco Nation News. So we appreciate them, and you can check out their campaign as part of their fall kickoff sale with Riley Smith coming to your local TV here pretty soon. Let's hear from the head coach of Boise State, Andy Avalos, after the 31-14 win over the New Mexico Lobos.
Defense just lights out tonight. What did you think of the effort, especially establishing that line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I mean, really, the guys have been doing a really good job. We spent some time in the summertime getting prepared for this week, knowing that it was going to be a short week, and they just really flipped it around on Sunday and came off of last week and really had a good week of practice, and it didn't stop all the way up to the game and walkthroughs. Trust me, we used every single minute we had this week to get prepared, and from the beginning of the game all the way through. I mean, we saw about every single play action pass that we could have possibly saw too, so it wasn't just in the run game. But overall, really proud of the way the defense played.
3 touchdowns for Hank tonight. What did you see out of him?
Same thing what he did in practice this week, and that's really what it comes down to, is just trusting the preparation, taking what the defense gives you when things are there, take it. If they're not, then we got to move on to the next play. And just really proud of him for, and really the offense in general, and him and Talon and the way they worked together this week to help the team get better, and obviously to be able to come out here and take care of the ball much better today and put some points on the board. And obviously there's still room to improve in certain areas on both sides of the ball, and obviously on special teams.
You guys had 6 sacks tonight. What did you see out of those guys tonight that you maybe didn't see last week?
Well, number one, I think the defensive line did a really good job. Last week we got some pressure on the quarterback and caused a couple bad throws. Some of them turned into takeaways, and tonight we're just able to land on the quarterback.
When it comes to Hank, and what have you seen about the support he's received from his teammates over the last week? And after that first touchdown, there are a dozen guys that went over and gave him a hug, and it felt like maybe a burden was a little taken off his shoulders, I guess.
I think it's just everyone's happy. Everyone's happy for him, happy for the team. I think everyone was extremely happy for Latrell. Let's not forget Latrell hasn't played, a lot of football, but he's done a really good job behind the scenes, and he deserves it, and scored 2 touchdowns today. So what you saw there was just an indication of what was happening in practice throughout the week, and we just got to keep building on that and finding ways to keep getting better.
The rushing was better. Hank seemed to have more protection. What do you think of the offensive line tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there's typically this defense does not give up very many rushing yards year in, year out. They're really good with a rush defense because of the multiple looks and the pressures and the different coverages that come with it. It's it's not an easy thing to handle on a regular week, let alone on a short week. And tip the hat to our offense coaches for being able to get our guys ready to go and identify things. We can. There's certainly areas we can get better in the execution. I felt like we were identifying things and knew exactly what was going on in the front, so we just got to execute better.
Carlos gets a sack in the first play of the game. What kind of tone does that set for a game?
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's always about being able to pressure and confuse the quarterback. That always helps, especially, the amount of pass plays. Again, there was a lot of 7-man protection, 2-man routes, trying to protect the quarterback and create space on the outside, and the guys did a good job helping with the rush, and then obviously the secondary fending a lot of those off.
So some good and some bad on special teams, but that punt block and the touchdown there, how big was that?
It was huge, obviously. The opportunity, the guys wanted to go for it. They wanted to run the block, and they made the most of it. I believe it was Drew Simpson that blocked that thing, and the funny part about it is I don't know how many, he probably had like 3 blocks in spring ball too, and throughout camp has shown a unique ability to do that. So it was pretty cool for the guys. They were really excited. They'd worked really hard on that. But obviously there's areas for improvement, and we'll look at those things and keep on working.
What does a win do overall? Just to be 1-1, have a win, get to go home for the home opener now, just the morale, momentum, everything. How's it feel to get a win?
Yeah, we accomplished our mission this week, to be 1-0, and so again, it started on Sunday when we got back and being able to flip the switch, and the staff did a really good job. Not just the coaches, but the trainers, the strength staff, everybody involved to get the team ready to play. I mean, the guys were pretty sore on Monday, but they fought through it. And Tuesday they looked even better, and then Wednesday they looked even better. So I'm really proud overall, and just really thankful for the staff's effort and obviously the players, you know, and the amount of work and enthusiasm they had this week.
You mentioned Latrell. He had what, 4 catches in his career coming into this game, finds the end zone twice. How good is it to see a young guy step up and contribute offensively, especially when you need a little bit of a spark? Yeah,
there's no doubt, man. He's shown, and you know, in practice, now it's time to do it in games, that he has that type of play making capability, and so we're just really excited for him. We got to, you know, this is one game. We're going to celebrate what we did well in this game, but we got to be able to build off of it and move forward from here.
There were a lot of, you know, end arounds, a couple, you know, fly sweeps, different things like that. I mean, was that something that New Mexico's defense, was there opportunities there, or was there thoughts, you know, and talks this week of, you know, trying to get more creative and stuff with play calling?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some misdirection, especially with the amount of pressures they bring and stuff like that. You know, I think it's always good. Here's the biggest thing: is a defense that pursues like that. There's opportunities if they over pursue to get them on misdirection.
No JL tonight. Alexander Tubner has massive shoes to fill, and it doesn't seem like you guys even skip a beat.
It's like last year when you guys asked, how come someone else isn't playing? Because he deserves to play, because he's the best guy.
You guys talked all week about the guys responding this week. How did they respond, in your opinion?
It was, again, they did an unbelievable job. The players committing to the things that we needed to get better at, you know, and locking out all the outside noise and really sticking together, doing it for the man to the left and the right, and committing to what we said we wanted to be.
Do you expect JL back next week?
Yeah.
Ashton Genty obviously stepped up today.
Yeah.
I know we ask every game, but he continues to show he deserves to be out there and make an impact.
Yeah, he did. He did a nice job. And you know what? Just scratching the surface, there's so much he's learning every opportunity he gets. He was better today than he was in his first opportunity. I'm sure there's things he learned from today that he'll even be better at next time. And I'll say this, I know that's the thing that, you know, is exciting, is that I really feel in my heart like our team is committed to learning from each experience so that we can keep growing. The goal today was to get stronger throughout the course of the game, and I feel like we did that, you know, and especially in the third quarter there, we were able to put some things together.
I'm going to ask you about Zeke real quick. Second game in a row, he stuffed the stat sheet.
Yeah.
What, a sack and a half, pass breakup, 4 tackles. What is it about his play that's allowed him to be so dynamic and be a playmaker early this season?
Well, I think, you know, to play linebacker, it always helps to have a great D-line in front of you and guys that do their job, guys that create clean pictures so you could fit. But overall, I mean, Zeke is extremely consistent with what he does. In his preparation, there's a lot of preparation that goes into playing linebacker here at Boise State. There's a lot of responsibility that goes into it. Both him and DJ have shown to be very consistent with that. And I mean, shoot, Zeke was a part of 2 takeaways last week and was extremely productive today as well.
Well, there he is, Andy Avalos, Boise State head coach. You can watch the full interview. It's already up on our YouTube channel. Check out the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. If you're watching the show and we're done here, you can watch the full post-game interviews with Zeke Noah, Andy Avalos, and Latrell Caples, who we're going to hear from pretty soon. We do have the play, by the way, that Colin put in. This was the Caleb Biggers play. Great tackle there, but then stands right on top of him. And that got the flag. So we'll show that again. I'm not sure if you thought it was worthy of a flag or not, but makes the tackle, stands right on top of him, says something, and that's enough. So that got the flag drawn for Caleb Biggers, and that was the reasoning for that. Logan says take away the 69-yard pass. That top 10 best finish would have been 79 yards allowed. He's blaming me for jinxing them when actually it was John Mallory. And then he says, stand corrected, ball game. Jinx says, yeah, Johnny Ball game did tweet something about where does this rank in the top 10. And I jokingly said, well, they have a record book for this. Why don't you look it up? And we did find out in that it would have been top 10. But again, they only had, 50, 60 yards, if not for that one play. So Pat says 91 needs more playing time. Real quick, get off, ran right through the right tackle. I thought Hassanin played pretty well in some of the stuff that he was doing. No, not a flag. You watch every game tomorrow, see how long many people stand near the guy they just tackled. Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a quick trigger, so to speak, by the official there. Mike says, glad for the win. Defense looked like it was playing with more energy this week. Still work to be done, and that offense still leaves much to be desired. In the end, it's only New Mexico. Hope to see more improvement quickly. Plow needs to go, but I like how he did that there. But Carson saying maybe it's just because UNM, but it looked like Genty broke the first tackle almost every time. Yeah, the dude runs hard, man. The dude runs really hard and doesn't also get tackled a lot on the first play, like you said. Genty is big time. Let's see. Getting Dooley back soon for the offensive line sure would help, definitely. And so that would be a big one if they could get him back. Don't know when that's going to be. Thought it might be this week, but it wasn't. So Helani had limited reps in camp. Simple as that. He'll improve as the season progresses. I don't really know what the status is of that and why, if that's the case or not. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it's just just hasn't had a lot of room to run, to be honest with you. They should have given Green some reps in the fourth quarter. Have a feeling that he's going to need it, is what he says. Carson says, was interesting to see Hank in the game the whole time. Thought near the end they would give Green some minutes. Probably did it to keep Hank's confidence going for after last week. What was it? One play, I think Taylor Green went in there for one play, and it was a 3-yard run. A 3-yard loss for Ashton Genty. Start Green and Genty. They can make our offense explosive. You'll see that next year. Relax, Raul. You'll see that next year. It's coming. So sad that we were content with this performance. Remember when we used to dominate? Remember when we would blow out New Mexico? If it's sad, we're happy with being mediocre. I'm not necessarily content or happy about the game. I'm just saying it's better than last week. Last week you were talking about a loss. At least you won the game and you covered the spread or pushed the spread in some spots. So you basically did what you were supposed to do against New Mexico. So, I'm not saying that people should be happy with it, but they certainly, did what they needed to do and got the win. And after last week, it was a loss for Boise State. So you're at least talking about a win at this point, and I think that you should be pretty happy with that. Apples to apples, Genty had the same limited room. Yeah, he did at times, but certainly was a situation where, again, it's different points in the game, different things, who knows, but both guys, you had 20 carries for 67 yards for George, 12 carries for 72 yards for Ashton Genty. So certainly that's something to look at, the running game moving forward, to see how that's going to go. Maybe it's because it looked like he broke the first tackle almost every time that we got that one already. But no, it's true. He had a very good game. Ezekiel says, hard to tell if his team will go 500. They look great against New Mexico, but even then, 10 points against UNM at the half. Yikes. Yeah, it wasn't a great start for the offense. It took some time, but they got it rolling, and it certainly worked out better for them once they got that going a little later in the game. Let's hear from Latrell Caples. Latrell Caples meeting with the media after the game. Boise State wide receiver, the first 2 touchdown catches of his career. They were both touchdowns on his first 2 catches. Here's Latrell Caples after the win.
Latrell, to find the end zone twice, the first 2 times you've done it in your college career, how good did that feel?
It felt great. It was a blessing today to be out there with my guys and to get the dub, so that's really all that matters. But it was great to get the 2 touchdowns today, too.
Can you take us through each of them, begin with the first and then conclude with the second?
The first one, it was like a look we went over all week. If we see the Lobos in there, we strike them a little bit, give them a little Julian Edelman, a little juke route, and then get in. And the second one, unfortunately, Riley didn't bring his in, so we go through a package that we worked since the first week of fall camp. And they always tell me I got to get in there because it's going to be a short yardage play. So got in there, and it was easy, thanks to the O-line and everybody out there blocking for me.
I know he wasn't perfect tonight, but what's to say about Hank to come back after getting pulled last week, to have 3 touchdowns and lead the offense tonight?
It shows that how much of a fighter he is and how much we believe him as a team. For him to come out there and be able to, stick it to him and just keep playing, even with all the noise and all the outside noise, he comes out and keep playing. That's what we love about him.
He's such like a kind of a fun, gregarious guy. How much of an opportunity was it for you guys to kind of return that favor to him when he was a little down this week? And I noticed after your touchdown, there had been a dozen guys that went over and hugged Hank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this week we just made sure we kept lifting them up, and whoever was throughout the week, we didn't even know who was going to come out here and get the start, but whoever it was, we just kept lifting both quarterbacks up, and he came out today and he played better than he did last week, and we're just going to keep improving by the week.
What did he show in practice this week that really impressed you after what had to be a really tough weekend for him?
He showed that after all that and after all what happened week 1, that he can bounce back, and he showed his poise, and he showed, like I said, he's a fighter, and he keep doing that throughout the week. We're just going to keep getting better and better.
Latrell, it looked like kind of a slow start offensively again. Maybe after the third or fourth series, you guys kind of all got together on the sideline as an offense. I don't know if that's something you guys normally do or if it was a rallying point. Which was that?
We normally do that after every drive, but we keep rallying, we keep talking to each other, we keep telling each other that we need to get better every drive, and that's what we kept doing. Every drive we got the mindset that we got to score, we got to put points in the end zone. So, I mean, after every drive we do meet up like that, but
after last week, how good does it feel just to get this win?
It feels good. It feels good to be in the W category, no matter how it is, how it came. A win is a win. At the end of the day, we always tell ourselves we got to be 1-0 every week.
Yeah, how about Cole Wright? He got a chance to make a play and he went up and made it.
Oh yeah, Cole Wright. He's a dude now. He came in with me. It was just me and him, the only two receivers in our class. And every day of practice, he shows that he's a dude. And he came out and he showed everybody else.
I'm assuming he knew that he might get an opportunity tonight. What was he like this week, knowing that his time might finally come?
I mean, he'd been playing football his whole life, so, I mean, he was calm. He didn't show that it was a difference for him because, I mean, it's football at the end of the day. It's a game we've been playing our whole life, so he prepared like the rest of us. He prepared like a starter. He came out there and he showed what he can really do.
How much easier is it on the offense when the defense is not giving up anything and making New Mexico go 3 and out every time?
Oh, it's so easy for us because, I mean, of course, we want to score every drive. I mean, that's our mindset. But if our defense is getting stops every time, if they got 0 points and we got 3, we win the game. So,
what was your vantage point on the punt block and that touchdown and your reaction?
I just knew we was going to end up with good field position, but we ended up blocking it and touchdown. And hey, we didn't have to get on the field, put the defense back on it. But they didn't give up a touchdown, so.
Latrell, how excited are you guys to get home and play on the blue?
Oh, we're so excited. We got a lot to prove. Every week we just gonna keep getting better, whether we're playing on the blue or red turf. We're excited. We're excited to come back to the blue and play in front of the great fans of Boise.
Well, there he is, Latrell Caples, and they are coming back to play on the blue turf. The lights are out here. Luckily, we brought our portable light from Boise, and luckily that's the case because they just turned the lights off on us here at the stadium. Chris says, don't read all the comments, BJ, weed the crap out. Yeah, it's kind of fun, I guess, sometimes. But, yeah, I'm not going to read all of them. Cole Wright, future dude. Folks on here talking about Bachmeier, somebody transferring. I don't know about that. Hank does have another year after this. Any indication why JL was out? Again, no. But what I will say is that we heard that he's expected back next week. So we did hear from Andy Avalos that he is expected back next week, which is a good thing either way. We're going to start to wrap this up here in a few minutes. We got a few more comments here. Biggest takeaway for me, a bounce back win. Defense comes out firing. Something else stuck out to you. I'll just say a lot of things that were problems in the last game were better tonight. We talked about needing to get more defense and more pressure on the quarterback on defense. They had 6 sacks, 12 tackles for loss. That was certainly better. Talked about special teams needing to improve. Dalmas made his only field goal. The punting was much better. Ferguson Reynolds averaged like 7 or 8 yards further on his punts than the last game. So those were 2 areas. The offensive line, I thought, was better. Hank Bachmeier, some people will disagree, but I thought was better. 3 touchdown passes, led the team on some scoring drives. So I thought overall things were much better for the offense, and the running game was better, 150-something yards or whatever it was. You had 2 running backs, Ashton Genty and George Helani, both go for over 60 yards rushing. I think a lot of the areas that needed to get better were better. Was it perfect? No. Was it the 50-0 win that would make you feel better about it? Sure. But if this team goes 10-2, are you really going to care what the score was against New Mexico back in week 2? No. So, we'll see what happens. But again, last week we were here talking about a loss, and everybody was complaining and bitching about that. So celebrate the win, take the win. The team got better. It was a better performance. Yes, they were playing a team that wasn't close to as good as Oregon State. I get that. I understand that. But again, you can only play and only beat who you play. So on the schedule was New Mexico, and you played pretty well, and you beat them. So overall, I think that you take it. You won. You got better. Some areas improved, and all of a sudden you move forward. And Bradley says it's like you don't understand the level of competition you just played. I've said that numerous times. You did not play Oregon State. You played New Mexico. It was not as good of a team. I understand that, but again, you won. So if you want to, you only get 12 games, and if you still want to be mad when you win one of your games, like go ahead. Yeah, that's you're a fan. You have all the right to want to do that. I get it. And if you want to be upset after a 31-14 win, go for it. I would enjoy another Cutwater canned cocktail and relax and enjoy the win. You're 1-1. You're 1-0 in Mountain West play. You're in first place in the conference. And like I said, some of the areas that were problems last week got better. So was it perfect? No. You have a lot of areas you still need to improve on. It was not perfect. It was not close to perfect. Hank Bachmeier needs to be better. 170 yards passing, 16 of 27, an interception. Not perfect. Was it great? No. I'm not saying Hank Bachmeier was all Mountain West quarterback tonight, but he was better than last week. He got better, and they won the game. So George Halani was better. The offensive line was better. They weren't great. I get it. You're playing New Mexico. You're supposed to be better, but they were. So it wasn't perfect. You didn't score 60 points, but again, you won the game and you moved on. So I think folks are, some of you folks on here are just a little too negative. You only get 12 games, man. You don't know how many games you're going to win. You won one. Enjoy it. And, you have all week to worry about things where you can still get better going into the next couple of weeks. But overall, I thought it was a momentum building win. It was certainly better, and I think there was a lot to celebrate. Big Wade is celebrating with a scotch and stogie. I like that. That's a nice one. Yeah, if I was Matting, I wouldn't be up at 2:30 chatting with y'all. Appreciate that. Thank you. What does this team need to do to be ready to compete for conference championship? Continue to get a little better in all areas. I mean, again, this was New Mexico. They were picked last in the division. You still have a lot of areas you need to improve, but you know what? Every game, you just want to get a little better. And guess what? They got better from the last game. So I think folks need to enjoy this one. And you can worry later this week and moving on about other areas to improve and all that. But it was a nice win for Boise State. They improved to 1-1 on the season, 31-14. All the post-game interviews, the full Andy Avalos, the full Zeke Noah, the full Latrell Capels are available on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribing to that YouTube channel. If that's where you're watching us now, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have your coverage. And as a reminder, next week, the post-game show will be live at the James. So come join us at the James on Broadway. It's a 2:00 game. So if you're going to the game, after the game, come on over to the James. We'll be out on the patio. Would love to have you come meet Kent Riddle. Come hang out. I'd love to meet you as well. And you can watch a live broadcast of the post-game show next week over at the James. So appreciate again all of our sponsors, Cutwater Canned Cocktails. Thanks so much to them. It was good to see Andy Rowe on the pregame show as well. Jeremiah Dickey was our guest as well. So go back and watch the pregame show if you missed that. But thanks to RowPaint.com, our title sponsor, Lithia Ford at Boise as well. That fall kickoff sale. Make sure you check that out. And of course, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. You can check them out online for the options there. The Blue and Orange Store, free shipping any order over $40, theblueandorangestore.com, and of course, Transportation Compliance Service. Check them out, transcomservice.com. So all of our great sponsors, Boise Dentistry Co., United Commercial Insurance, Ridley's Family Markets, Boucher Real Estate, Timberstone Golf Course, all of our great sponsors. We're very appreciative and thankful for them helping us get on the road here and put this show together for you. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. I wanted to get him on the mic here, but we don't have the right thing. So for the second game in a row, we have the secret, quiet Colin Mitchell. There he is. I'll put him on there just so you can see him. Colin's doing great work behind the scenes, so we appreciate you, Colin. Nice work again. All the highlights that you saw. And I know he gets shy when he's on screen there, so we'll leave him on there a few seconds longer. But appreciate Colin Mitchell for all of his work. Again, second game in a row that he was behind the scenes, putting together the videos on the field during the game, shooting the highlights, putting all the lights and things together for us. We just got to get Arizona State to give them a better battery next game so the camera doesn't run out in the third quarter, and that's why the last two clips you saw were from the TV broadcast and not Colin's camera. But no, all kidding aside, you did a great job, and we appreciate you, Colin. Thanks to Frank here at New Mexico for all his help. Thanks to Craig Lawson, Sarah Jorm at Boise State for getting all the interviews and things in. Everybody's now giving Colin some love. Thanks, Colin. Colin, Dave says a win is a win. What a show. Let's go Broncos. Thanks, Wade. Appreciate the time, effort, and takes. Thanks for being real and the great coverage. See you at the game. Yep, Jordan, looking forward to it. Hopefully post-game, Jordan, we'll see you over at the James. Dylan says, what a show. Pat says, appreciate the work. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, we appreciate everybody for checking us out. It was a fun show tonight. Early flight tomorrow morning, but heading back to the hotel, we'll have a column on Hank Bachmeier and some of the other areas where this team improved coming up at BroncoNationNews.com. So hopefully you'll consider subscribing as well. Big Wade says, use Row Paint. I did. Thanks, Wade. Appreciate that. Yeah, go check out rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. So appreciate everybody for checking out the show. Have a great rest of your weekend. The best part about a Friday game with a win for Boise State is you get all weekend Saturday to watch college and all day Sunday to watch NFL. So enjoy it, Boise State fans. We'll talk to you Monday with John Mallory at 9 a.m. for Bronco Nation News Live. Have a great rest of your weekend. Boise State 31, New Mexico 14. The Broncos now 1-1 on the season, 1-0 in conference play for the 23rd straight season. And again, full press conference video, full stories, everything available online at BroncoNationNews.com. Thanks to Colin. Thanks to all you guys for checking it out. Have a great night. Broncos are 1-1. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
At ICCU, to make a difference, it takes just one connection. A friendly face, an open ear, a helping hand. And then something amazing happens. We find out that we're better together. This is what Idaho Central does in our communities every day. We help our members with the small things and big dreams. This is what believing in you is all about. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
The first one, it was like